Welcome to Top Troops, everybody, and today we will be looking at one or two requests from the comments that I've been seeing recently. Firstly, as you can see, I've been doing some clearing up and quite a few chests to deal with, as well as these to open, along with that epic chest that's still standing there. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. I think the first thing that we'll be looking at is a few requests that I've been asking for my arena setup and how I approach this. As you can see, currently in Diamond 1, and my approach is generally just the units I like to play with, what works for me. As you can see, I get quite a few, well, quite varying squad powers here, and they just tend to go up and up. And on the defense side, you can see there's still quite a few low numbers here for me to go through as well. And that is just because my defender base, or my defense, is quite weak. It just gives me more opportunity to fight against weaker levels, as either those people or those players also set up a weak defense, or they just lower level and trying to get higher ranks in arena. Now, my setup, let's get into this and you'll see what I'm looking at and what I play with. This is my general setup for this account. This is the secondary, and as you can see, I have two really big meat shields in there. You can see my available troops as well. Quite high health, quite high attack, and also this golem I've leveled up is made of stone, so the increase to defense is 20% extra. Just means he takes very long to die. This golem is on his heels and getting there as well, but as you can see, less than half of the health points, but still very valuable. Then I have my two Verleafs. They're in here for healing, mostly to keep the golems alive, and I have two of them so that they can heal each other as well. Then further to that, you'll always see my Necro Rats, just because they spawn additional units, and the additional units definitely do assist when fighting against other armies, especially if there's an Oni warrior or something of the like, where you just need to distract him for a bit. And then recently I've switched out Pyromaniacs with my Conductors, just because their level is higher, but both do something very similar. They have their range electrocute, or these Pyromaniacs have Molotov cocktails that they chuck every now and again. So both do area of effect damage, which is great. And then lastly, the fillers. Thor, good damage as well as health, which is good. Dakini, there's 5 of them, and their stunning attack definitely does assist. And then we have Vampire Queen. She's just in here as a bit of a mix. We can replace her with basically anything we feel like as we get through levels for them and get them higher. However, I feel Vampire Queen is a bit more useful, let's say, in this setup than our Conductors would be, and that's why she is in here. And then we have our Valkyrie that's quite leveled. I don't think I've upped any of... that's level 5, level 1, and level 5. Okay, so I haven't done all of them, but I've done quite a few of their abilities. And this is just because I really like Valkyrie. The knockback really assists, and they're also quite beefy units with a decent attack. And I put them at the back to protect the Arcane Hunter, as well as a bit of the Pyromaniacs. As you can see, this card is going in here. But this would be my general setup for arenas, and this gets through most of what I need to get through. I haven't ever felt like I face a setup where I can't, defeat people. Usually in my general lineup, which we'll get to in a second. I'll show you. There's one or two people that's a bit difficult, but you get your free refresh every half an hour. So if you don't want to waste that attack and you want to get the chest out of it and some points, just wait for your refresh to be up. But let's see what this does. It doesn't really matter, you know, what setup we do, as our squad power is at 334 and most of these are quite significantly lower, so we can just attack. Like for instance here you can see this last squad power is the only one that is slightly higher than mine. It doesn't mean he will defeat me, and by looking at the units, 2 Onis, Toads, let's just for science, let's see what happens here. Happy with all of that. However, here, for instance, I might switch out this to that to do a bit of damage against those. Let's see what happens. Those necro rats definitely doing their thing. And gone. So it's all about whether you think you can beat them or not. But I haven't felt that in arena it's been that challenging just yet. Maybe if I do push to go higher. However, I'm pretty happy with ending up around Master 3, I believe. Let's just see. Normally I get to Master 4, even Master 3. Yeah, Master 3, sometimes Master 2, and I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't pushed to go higher, however, maybe I should. But for now, that's my arena setup, that's how I approach the arena, and that's kind of how I battle. And I think for most arena battles, the approach would be the same. You want 1 or 2 nice meat shields. Somebody that can take a beating without dying too quick. And then 1 or 2 healers to support those meat shields. I would always like to have a unit that spawns additional units. For instance, the Necromancer Rats. And then I'll have 1 or 2 damage dealers that just sweep in and do what they need to. In this setup, that would be Arcane Hunter from the back. She does quite a bit of damage and it pierces through quite a few enemies, which is great. These guys with their area of effect, along with these guys with the area of effect, both do deal quite a bit. And Conductors and Thor also have some synergy with their electrocution and similar attacks. And I guess that's it. If you guys have any questions regarding arena setups, please feel free to ask them in the comments, and any other suggestions or ideas that you guys might have. And then a lot of people are asking about arena tickets. Now generally, and this is very dependent, I will never buy epic troops from the arena market unless it's the last one I need to get a unit to level 10 and I'm struggling, for instance, in towers, or even if I'm struggling on adventure, then I might to ascend that unit and get it to rank 10 or a higher rank. However, mostly I will save my tickets here. I won't buy shards. If needed, the only thing that I do spend money on in here are squad coins, and this is just to level up my units, as that resource does trickle in quite slowly, even though you have the events in other areas where you get some. And I would then save my tickets to be quite a bit more. Ideally, this account hasn't gotten to 10,000 yet, but once it does, I will keep it there. And then anything over 10,000, I'll spend on my squad coins until a legendary comes along that I definitely must have, something difficult to get, like maybe werewolf, dwarf, engineer, units that I really like playing with and that really adds to my squad. However, mostly I just rely on summons, as I have not bought units from the arena market just yet, and my summons have been quite generous. As you can see, I already have a bunch kind of lined up, so in the next day or two you guys will be seeing a few summons. But with that, thank you for watching. If you did find this helpful, please do like and subscribe and comment to let me know if this video has answered your questions, your queries, or if you have any additional ones regarding the arena and arena setups. But with that, thank you, and I hope you guys enjoy.